Do you feel worn down? Do you feel like you've been running a race with no finish line, like every step forward costs more than it should? Listen carefully, because I am here to tell you this. God is ending the season that has exhausted you. That's right. God Himself is bringing closure to the burdens, the weight, the relentless pressures that have drained your spirit. For too long, you have carried what was never meant for you to carry alone. Too long, you have fought the battles that felt endless, cried tears that felt unnoticed, and questioned why life seems to demand everything from you without giving anything in return. But today, hear this with every fiber of your being. The season that has worn you down, that has tried to define you by fatigue and frustration, is coming to a divinely appointed end. There is a moment in your life when God says enough, when He looks at the struggle, at the endless nights and unfulfilled promises, and He intervenes, not gradually, not as a whisper, but as a powerful force that shifts the very trajectory of your existence. You may not have seen it yet. You may have felt hopeless, thinking that God forgot you or that His timing is delayed. But understand this, God's timing is never delayed. It is perfect, it is precise, and it is working to bring an end to the season that has exhausted you. You see, exhaustion is not just physical, it is spiritual. It is emotional. It is the silent thief that steals your joy, robs you of hope, and convinces you that you are weak, when in reality, God is preparing you for a breakthrough so monumental that exhaustion itself will bow before it. God does not allow seasons of exhaustion to remain indefinitely. Every long night, every tear shed in secret, every moment of a silent struggle is being transformed into strength. Every moment of fatigue is being reshaped into a divine platform upon which God will display His glory in your life. You are on the edge of transformation. You are standing at the threshold of divine intervention. Do not despise the season you are leaving behind. Do not resent the difficulties that have tested your faith. God uses these seasons to teach, to mold, to refine, and to prepare you for what is next. Just as a fire refines gold, the trials, the struggles, and the exhaustion you have endured are refining you. They are purging what is weak, exposing what is genuine, and strengthening what will endure. The season that has exhausted you was never the end. It was never permanent. It was preparation. And now God is turning the page. Listen to me. You do not have to fight alone anymore. God is fighting for you. The burdens that you carried in silence, He is lifting them. The weariness that weighed you down, He is removing it. The hopelessness that tried to define your identity, He is replacing it with a purpose, with a vision, with a divine clarity. You are stepping into a new season, one that is filled with a divine favor, supernatural strength, and unshakable peace. The chains of exhaustion are breaking, and the shackles of endless struggle are falling to the ground. God is making a way where there seems to be no way. You may wonder, how will I know that the season is truly ending? You will feel it. You will sense it deep within your spirit. A shift will take place, subtle at first, like a gentle breeze of hope brushing against your weary soul. Then it will rise, a force so powerful that you cannot ignore it. Doors will begin to open that were previously closed. Opportunities will present themselves that seemed impossible. People who were stagnant in your life will move. Circumstances will change, and clarity will replace confusion. This is the work of God. This is the season of restoration. This is the divine conclusion to a chapter that once tried to break you. Do not rush God's timing. Do not force the breakthrough before its appointed moment. Trust that He is orchestrating every detail. The season that has exhausted you may have lasted longer than you expected, but God is always working in ways you cannot see. What appears as delay is actually divine preparation. What appears as silence is actually a sacred alignment of circumstances. God is not absent. He is moving behind the scenes, dismantling the forces that sought to hold you back, clearing the paths that you thought were impossible, and positioning you for a harvest that will make every struggle worth it. I need you to hear this deeply. Your exhaustion is not your identity. Your failures are not your definition. Your long seasons of struggle do not dictate your destiny. God's power is far greater than your weakness. His plans are far higher than your disappointment. His vision is far broader than your temporary setback. You are not here by accident. You are not suffering without purpose. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of weariness has been leading to this divine intervention where God says, it is finished. This season of exhaustion is over. You are ready for the abundance I have prepared for you. Do not waste another moment in despair. Stand up, even if your legs are trembling. Lift your head, even if your heart feels heavy. Speak life over your circumstances, even if your voice quivers. Declare that God is faithful, that He is just, and that He is bringing the season of exhaustion to a close. Faith is the bridge between the struggle you have endured and the victory God has prepared. Without faith, the change will feel distant. But with faith, you will see the impossible become reality. There are those of you listening who feel invisible. You feel unnoticed. You feel as though the world has passed you by and that your time will never come. But God sees you. God knows you. God is aware of every prayer, every plea, every quiet cry in the darkness. He is not distant. He is not late. He is orchestrating the end of this season with precision, wisdom, and divine timing that surpasses human understanding. Today, your story begins to change. Today, God is rewriting the narrative of your life. The season that exhausted you is giving way to a season of rest, a season of a blessing, and a season of a divine elevation. And you must prepare yourself. Prepare your heart, your mind, and your spirit to receive. God does not send the breakthrough to those who are unready. He sends it to those who have endured, who have persevered, who have not allowed exhaustion to extinguish their faith. Prepare by letting go of what no longer serves you. Prepare by forgiving the circumstances, the people, and even yourself for the mistakes of the past. Prepare by declaring with boldness that you are ready to step into what God has prepared. The season of exhaustion ends not because the struggle disappears instantly, but because God is aligning every piece of your life to bring restoration in His perfect timing. You may feel fear. You may feel doubt. That is natural. But do not let fear blind you to the truth. God is greater than the fear that tries to paralyze you. He is greater than the exhaustion that seeks to define you. He is greater than the setbacks, the betrayals, the losses, and the pain. He is the God of restoration, the God of renewal, and the God who turns despair into triumph. His power is unmatched. His love is unfailing, and His plan is unstoppable. Today, let your spirit rise. Let your faith awaken. Let your hope ignite. The season that has exhausted you is ending. It is over. It is being replaced with a divine moment of favor, purpose, and supernatural strength. Do not allow your past fatigue to dictate your future. Do not allow yesterday's struggle to steal today's blessing. God is moving, God is acting, and God is restoring. Stand firm, declare boldly, and walk confidently into the new season that He has prepared. Your exhaustion is not permanent. Your struggle is not final. Your story is not finished. God is writing a new chapter, and it begins now. Do you feel the weight of yesterday pressing down on you? Do you feel the remnants of disappointment, the lingering shadows of betrayal, and the echoes of promises unfulfilled? Hear me clearly. God is not unaware of any of it. Every burden, every tear, every sleepless night has been cataloged by His omniscient wisdom. Nothing escapes His attention. Even when you thought the world abandoned you, even when you believed that your efforts were in vain, God was quietly, powerfully, and faithfully at work, orchestrating the end of the season that has exhausted you. You see, the exhaustion you feel is never a sign of God's absence. It is a sign of preparation. It is proof that the soil of your life is being tilled for a divine harvest. Proof that He is readying you for an overflow that only He can bring. There is a principle in God's design. No season of struggle is eternal. Just as the night eventually yields to the dawn, your period of weariness is temporary. God measures seasons, and He determines the exact moment when the struggle must end. He allows the challenges not to punish, but to refine, to purify, and to awaken a deeper level of faith within you. You may not have seen the pattern yet, but understand this. Every setback was part of a divine blueprint. Every disappointment was a rehearsal for your breakthrough. Every trial was a whisper from God, reminding you that He is your strength, your provider, and your unwavering refuge. Do not allow your eyes to be distracted by the temporary. The world wants you to fixate on the pain, to be defined by the exhaustion, to accept limitation as reality. But God sees beyond the immediate. God sees the entire trajectory of your life. He sees the glory that awaits you once the season of fatigue has passed. And He is moving now with unstoppable authority to bring alignment where there has been chaos, clarity where there has been confusion, and energy where there has been depletion. The season that drained you is not the end of your story. It is the prelude to your miracle. You may feel that your faith has been tested beyond endurance, that your prayers have gone unanswered, and that the weight on your shoulders is more than you can bear. Let me remind you, God never measures your struggle by the magnitude of the burden, but by the strength He is preparing within you to overcome it. Exhaustion does not define weakness. It defines the stage before divine elevation. God does not raise the weak prematurely. He strengthens them, He keeps them, and He positions them so that when the time of a breakthrough arrives, it cannot be denied. The very fatigue that you despise is being transformed into power. The very weariness you fear is being turned into wisdom. The very emptiness you feel is being filled with the purpose that no human hand could create. It is time to rise above the mindset of limitation. God is calling you out of despair and into faith, out of exhaustion and into strength, out of mere survival and into the fullness of life He has prepared for you. You were not created to be trapped in a cycle of struggle. You were not designed to remain fatigued, defeated, or frustrated. God has designed you for victory, for abundance, and for supernatural influence. But first, He must end the season that exhausts you. because a new season cannot come until the old one concludes. Think about this. When God brings closure to a season, it is absolute, it is decisive, it is uncompromising. Nothing can hold back the momentum of His will. The obstacles that seemed insurmountable, the people who seemed immovable, the circumstances that felt permanent, they all yield when God moves. He does not negotiate with the limitation. He overcomes it. He does not tolerate stagnation. He propels you forward, and He does not allow your past to dictate your future. The season that has exhausted you will end, and with its conclusion comes a release that will propel you into a life marked by divine favor, unshakable peace, and supernatural provision. Do not underestimate the power of your endurance. Every day you have pressed forward. Every moment you have held on despite the fatigue. Every silent prayer lifted when it seemed there was no one listening. These are the seeds God is using to create a harvest of a blessing. God is not just ending the season of exhaustion for the sake of relief. He is ending it to reveal His glory in your life, to demonstrate His power, and to show you that He is faithful to those who trust in Him. This is the moment when your patience is rewarded, your perseverance is honored, and your faith is validated. You must understand something essential. God's restoration is not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it comes as a still small shift in your circumstances that sets in motion a cascade of change. Sometimes it comes as a person entering your life at the right time, as an opportunity presenting itself when it seems impossible, or as clarity appearing where there was once confusion. But make no mistake, when God moves, exhaustion flees, despair dissipates, and divine momentum takes over. You will recognize it because it will be undeniable, unmistakable, and irreversible. This is why you must prepare yourself spiritually, emotionally, and mentally to receive what God is bringing. Let go of what belongs to the past. Release the grudges, the disappointments, and the fears that have kept you tethered to the season that has exhausted you. Forgive yourself for what you thought you should have done. Forgive the circumstances for what you could not control. And most importantly, align your heart with God's will so that when the breakthrough arrives, you are ready to embrace it fully. God's blessing cannot fully enter a heart weighed down by unresolved struggle. He is ending the season of exhaustion to make space for divine increase, unshakable joy, and unstoppable favor. Do not doubt the timing. Do not question the process. Do not underestimate the power of God's faithfulness. The same God who orchestrated the rising of the sun, the movement of the stars, and the turning of the tides is the same God who is working in your life right now. The same power that formed the mountains from dust, that calmed the storms, and that delivered the faithful in every generation is the same power that will bring closure to the season that has drained you. Your exhaustion is not final. Your struggle is not permanent. Your life is being redirected into the channels of God's provision, favor, and unstoppable purpose. And you must speak. You must declare. Your words carry authority when aligned with God's promises. Speak life over your circumstances. Proclaim that the season that has exhausted you is ending. Declare that fatigue will no longer define you, that despair will no longer overshadow you, and that limitation will no longer contain you. Faith is active, and God responds to declarations of faith. When you boldly declare that your season is over, your heart aligns with His power, your spirit rises in authority, and your breakthrough cannot be delayed. Consider the seasons of your life like a field that has been lying fallow. For a time, it appears barren, unproductive, and lifeless. You wonder if it will ever yield fruit. But when God moves, when He decides the season of preparation is complete, the field bursts forth with abundance. The rain comes, the sun shines, the soil, once exhausted, is transformed into fertile ground. The harvest is not just enough, it overflows. This is the pattern God has established for you. Your exhaustion is the field. Your struggle is the soil. And the moment God intervenes, your life will overflow with the blessing, favor, and divine opportunity. Do not allow your past failures, your mistakes, or your weariness to steal the excitement of what is coming. God is ending the season that exhausted you, not just for relief, but for revelation. He is revealing His faithfulness, His power, and His perfect plan for your life. He is revealing that no matter how long the night seemed, the dawn always comes. He is revealing that every tear you have cried is a seed for divine blessing. He is revealing that your endurance is not in vain, and that every moment of waiting was part of a greater purpose that only God could orchestrate. This is your moment to rise, to step into your calling with courage, to embrace the new season with boldness, and to trust God with every aspect of your life. The season that exhausted you is ending. God is bringing relief, restoration, and reward. He is bringing clarity where there was confusion, strength where there was weakness, and opportunity where there was limitation. Do not be passive. Do not shrink back. Stand firm in faith. Declare victory over your circumstances and walk boldly into the future God has prepared for you. There is a reason you have been tested. There is a reason that life pressed so heavily on your spirit. God allowed the weight not to destroy you, but to reveal what is hidden within you: resilience, faith, endurance, and unwavering strength. When God brings an end to a season, He does so not because the struggle was meaningless, but because the struggle has prepared you for a level of authority, wisdom, and blessing you could not have possessed without it. Every difficulty, every heartache, every moment of silent despair has been a seed planted by God, and now the harvest is about to appear. The season that exhausted you was the preparation. The season that follows will be your manifestation. Do you understand the power of what God is doing? He is dismantling the old order of your life, the tired patterns, the discouragement, the limitations that whispered lies to your soul. God does not just remove what is harmful, He replaces it. He replaces exhaustion with strength, confusion with clarity, despair with hope, and fear with divine courage. And when God replaces, He does it completely. There is no halfway restoration. There is no compromise. What He blesses is full, overflowing, and unmistakable. Some of you are holding on to what you think is security, even though it has exhausted you. You cling to routines, relationships, or habits that drain your spirit because they are familiar. But God is calling you to release. He is calling you to trust Him completely, to step out of comfort and into the unknown, because the unknown is where He displays His power. The moment you loosen your grip on the old, the weary, and the unfulfilling, God will fill your hands with the new opportunities, divine favor, and blessings that your soul has longed for. Your season of exhaustion is not just ending, it is being replaced by the fullness of God's provision and glory. Do not fear what lies ahead. You may feel unprepared, you may feel inadequate. That is natural, but it is not the truth. God equips those He calls. The strength, courage, and wisdom required for the new season are already being deposited into your spirit. What feels like weakness is merely the preparation of strength that only God can produce. What feels like a fear is only the invitation for faith to rise. What feels like exhaustion is only the moment before divine empowerment. When God ends a season, He does not leave you standing empty-handed. He places in your hands everything you need to walk boldly into His purpose. And understand this, God's timing is flawless. He does not operate according to human impatience. He does not move according to human standards of fairness or speed. But when He moves, it is unstoppable. The moment God decided your season of exhaustion has ended, everything aligned against you will be undone. What seemed permanent will vanish. What seemed insurmountable will crumble. What seemed distant will arrive with overwhelming speed. The forces that have tried to hold you down cannot resist the power of God's decree. He is ending your season with authority, and it will be evident in ways that cannot be ignored. You may ask, how will I recognize it? How will I know that God has truly ended this season? You will know because a divine shift will occur in your spirit. You will feel energy return where there was depletion. You will sense hope where there was despair. You will see doors open that were previously closed. You will encounter favor that you could not earn, opportunities that you could not create, and breakthroughs that can only be explained as the direct intervention of God. It will be undeniable, unmistakable, and life-altering, but God also calls you to action. The end of a season requires more than passive waiting. It requires readiness. It requires faith in motion. It requires a willingness to step into the unknown, to embrace the new, and to leave behind everything that no longer serves the purpose God has prepared. Your readiness is the bridge between the season that exhausted you and the blessings that God has prepared. If you hesitate, if you cling to the past, the harvest will be delayed. But if you move with courage, with trust, and with unwavering faith, you will experience the fullness of God's restoration without compromise. Consider the power of your own testimony. The struggles you have endured, the burdens you have carried, and the exhaustion you have felt are not signs of defeat. They are signs that God is building a story of triumph in your life. When the season ends, your testimony will speak louder than any argument, greater than any doubt, and more powerful than any criticism. People will see the shift, and they will marvel not at your strength, but at the God who restored you, lifted you, and brought you into a season of abundance. The season that exhausted you will become the testimony that glorifies God. And let me remind you, God's restoration is holistic. It is not just about physical energy or financial relief. It is spiritual, it is emotional, it is relational. He restores your mind from the burdens of worry, your heart from the scars of disappointment, and your spirit from the weight of despair. God does not only remove what exhausts you, He replaces it with what energizes, inspires, and empowers you. You will find renewed passion in your purpose, deeper clarity in your decisions, and the peace that surpasses understanding even in the midst of new challenges. Do not allow your previous exhaustion to define your expectations. God is not just ending a season. He's starting a new era in your life. A season marked by divine favor, unshakable faith, supernatural opportunity, and overflowing provision. You will look back one day and realize that everything you endured was not wasted. It was preparing you for what is coming. God's timing, His wisdom, and His power are unmatched. The season of exhaustion was never meant to stay. It was meant to pass so that the next season could shine in all its glory. You must embrace hope with a conviction. Hope is not passive. It is active. It is alive. It is the declaration that your future is in the hands of God, that He is faithful, and that He will bring closure to every trial. Every time doubt creeps in, speak hope. Every time fear whispers, speak faith. Every time exhaustion threatens to define you, proclaim that God is ending this season. Your words carry power. They align your spirit with God's will. They open the door for His intervention to manifest in your life. Remember, the season of exhaustion has taught you lessons that cannot be learned in ease or comfort. You have learned patience. You have learned endurance. You have learned the value of trust in God. You have learned that His presence sustains even when the circumstances are overwhelming. And now, God is moving to replace struggle with strength, tears with joy, waiting with fulfillment, and despair with hope. The journey ahead is not a continuation of exhaustion. It is a launch pad for victory. Your strength will return. Your vision will become clear. Your purpose will ignite with passion. Doors will open that were previously shut. Divine connections will emerge at the right time. Favor will manifest in ways that surpass your understanding. The chains of the past will fall, and God's light will illuminate the path forward. You will walk boldly, not because the road is easy, but because God's presence is powerful, guiding, and unstoppable. Every prayer you whispered in secret, every tear you shed in silence, every moment you held on despite the exhaustion, it is all coming together now. God is ending the season that drained you to prove His faithfulness. He is ending the season that weighed you down to reveal His power. He is ending the season that tested you to demonstrate His glory. And when this season ends, your life will bear witness to His perfection, His wisdom, and His unwavering care. Listen closely, because what I'm about to say is not mere encouragement. It is a divine declaration over your life. God is not only ending the season that exhausted you, He is doing so to establish a new order in your life. There is a rhythm to divine intervention. Seasons of struggle are finite. Seasons of blessing are eternal when rooted in God's will. Every trial you endured was a preparation. Every moment of fatigue, a divine shaping, and every night of despair, a call to deeper faith. You are standing on the threshold of a season that will reveal the power, wisdom, and provision of God in ways you never imagined. Do you realize what this means? It means the sleepless nights, the endless worries, the burdens that felt impossible to bear, they were never permanent. They were a proving ground, designed to awaken a faith that refuses to be shaken, a courage that cannot be silenced, and a vision that cannot be diminished. God allows these seasons not to destroy you, but to awaken you. He allows them to push you to the edge, not to let you fall, but to teach you that when you lean fully on Him, the impossible becomes possible. Your exhaustion is not a sign of weakness. It is evidence that God is preparing you for a manifestation of His power that will leave no doubt in your mind or heart. There is a divine pattern in life. Seasons of trial always give way to seasons of triumph. God never permits you to remain in one state indefinitely. Just as winter is followed by spring, your weariness will be replaced by vitality. Just as night yields to day, your despair will be replaced by hope. Just as a seed must endure the darkness of the soil before it can sprout, you must endure the season of exhaustion before you can rise into the fullness of God's blessing. The timing may seem delayed, but delay is not denial. God is orchestrating every detail, every circumstance, every encounter to ensure that when your season changes, it changes completely, permanently, and powerfully. You must also understand the end of exhaustion is not always immediate or loud. Sometimes it comes as a quiet shift within your spirit, a subtle increase of energy, a sudden clarity in decision making, a renewed sense of purpose that was dormant for too long. At other times, it arrives as a dramatic breakthrough, a door opens, an opportunity appears, or a circumstance shifts beyond human explanation. But in every case, the result is the same. God is restoring what was lost, replenishing what was drained, and realigning your life with His divine will. The season that has exhausted you will not only end, it will be replaced with the glory of His favor. Do not fear the transition. Change is the vehicle through which God brings elevation. You may feel uncertain or unsteady, but remember this: God is your stability, your guide, and your source of strength. The same God who brought you through the storms of yesterday will bring you into the breakthroughs of today. He does not abandon His children in the midst of change. He leads them through it. He does not leave them unprepared for new seasons. He equips them. He does not allow past exhaustion to dictate future potential. He redeems it, transforms it, and multiplies it. I want you to hear this clearly. God is ending this season for your sake, but also for His glory. The way your life transforms, the way your strength returns, the way your faith becomes unshakable, it will testify to the power and faithfulness of God. People will see it. Circumstances will see it. Even you will see it. Your exhaustion was never permanent. It was the preparation for an unveiling of God's glory in your life. Do not diminish it. Do not despair. Do not doubt. God is moving, and His movement cannot be delayed or hindered. Consider the wisdom of endurance. Exhaustion often tests more than your body. It tests your mind, your heart, and your spirit. It tempts you to give up, to abandon faith, to settle for less than God's best. But every time you refuse to surrender, every time you continue to believe despite the fatigue, you are building a spirit that cannot be broken. God honors those who endure. And His reward is not only relief, but elevation. The end of this season will not only restore your energy, it will elevate your life to a level of influence, power, and blessing that surpasses anything you have known. There is a truth you must hold on to. God's timing is perfect. He is never late, even when it feels like it. The season that has exhausted you is ending exactly when it should, at the precise moment when you're fully prepared to embrace the blessings He has prepared. Do not rush the process. Do not despise the preparation. Do not despise the waiting. The wait is not wasted. The struggle is not meaningless. Every tear, every night of prayer, every moment of weariness, God has counted them all, and He will honor them all. And now, it is your responsibility to respond in faith. To step boldly into this new season, you must release the old fully. Let go of the habits, the patterns, the thoughts, and even the people that have contributed to your exhaustion. Open your heart fully to God's provision, fully to His guidance, and fully to His blessing. Faith is not passive. It requires action. Speak the words that align with God's promises. Declare the end of exhaustion. Proclaim the beginning of restoration. Lift your voice in trust, in hope, and in expectation, because God responds to faith that acts. I want you to see your life differently today. The past does not define you. The struggles you endured do not limit you. The exhaustion you experienced does not determine your future. God is not only ending this season, He's replacing it with a life overflowing with strength, clarity, opportunity, and divine favor. Imagine a life where your decisions are guided by wisdom, your spirit is filled with energy, your heart is free from despair, and your purpose is clear. This is the life God is bringing. This is the season of restoration, and it begins now. Do not underestimate what God is about to do. The breakthroughs, the opportunities, the divine connections, the clarity of a purpose, the restoration of a peace and joy, they are coming. God's power is unstoppable. His timing is flawless. His wisdom is beyond comprehension. And He is doing all of this for you. Every struggle you endured, every tear you shed, every moment of exhaustion, it was never wasted. It was the preparation for a season that will glorify Him and transform your life beyond the imagination. Listen to me carefully. Right now, in this very moment, you may feel the weight of waiting. You may feel the pressure of unanswered prayers, of doors that have not opened, of dreams that seem delayed. You may even question yourself, am I wasting my time? Is this waiting pointless? Let me tell you something. With the authority of the Spirit and the conviction of faith, waiting is never wasted when God is at work. There is a divine rhythm, a heavenly orchestration that moves silently, invisibly, yet powerfully. The fact that you do not see it does not mean it is not happening. The silence you feel, the stillness you endure, the delays you encounter, they are not signs of neglect or absence. They are the fingerprints of God working in ways you cannot yet comprehend. God never works in haste. His timing is perfect, and His ways are higher than yours and mine. You see, human beings want immediate results. We want answers now. We want solutions today. We crave visibility, confirmation, and speed. But God's work is never rushed because the work of God is eternal. When God works, He builds a foundation beneath your life that no storm can shake. When God moves in silence, He is planting seeds, strengthening your spirit, preparing you and aligning your life with His divine plan. You may feel stagnant, you may feel unseen, you may feel that nothing is happening, but hear me, God is working even when the world sees nothing. Do not despise the waiting. Do not grow impatient. Impatience is the enemy of faith. When you rush, when you force, when you try to manufacture results, you risk destroying the very blessing that God has been preparing for you. There is a divine precision in God's timing. Every delay, every moment of silence, every closed door is a part of God's plan to perfect you, to position you, and to protect you. The waiting is not punishment. The waiting is a preparation. It is in the quiet moments, in the unseen hours, in the invisible labor of God that your destiny is being formed. Consider the seed buried in the dark soil. To the human eye, it appears lifeless, unproductive, forgotten. But beneath the surface, unseen roots are growing, drawing nourishment, developing strength, and preparing for a mighty emergence. That is exactly what God does in the silence of your life. Your dreams, your prayers, your future, God is cultivating them in secret. He is shaping your character, refining your faith, testing your patience, and teaching you endurance. You may not see immediate results, but the growth is real, and the harvest will be glorious. There is a sacred principle here. God's silence is not absence, it is action. Your waiting is God's workshop. The pauses in your life are God's classrooms. Every unanswered question, Every moment of confusion, every period of stillness is God teaching you, molding you, and strengthening you. While you wait, God is removing obstacles, aligning people, opening doors, and orchestrating events that will appear suddenly like lightning striking the earth. You will look back one day and marvel, God was working all along, I just couldn't see it. Do not allow doubt to take root in your heart. Do not allow fear to whisper lies into your mind. Fear will tell you that nothing is happening, that you are forgotten, that God has abandoned you, but these are lies. God never abandons His own. God never forgets His promises. God never fails to act. The silence is not emptiness, it is fullness. The waiting is not delay, it is divine preparation. The stillness is not emptiness, it is power gathering. God is working in ways that are invisible, mysterious, and beyond human comprehension. You must trust. You must believe. You must hold fast to your faith, even when the waiting feels unbearable. You must understand this truth. God's timing is not your timing. Human impatience cannot accelerate divine perfection. When you force things to happen, you risk settling for something smaller than what God intends. God's delay is His protection. His silence is His strategy. His unseen work is His blessing preparing for you. The doors that remain closed today are doors that, if opened prematurely, would not fulfill His perfect plan. Your job is to stay faithful, to stay hopeful, to stay obedient, and to continue worshiping God even in the waiting. Consider the story of the faithful who waited and were rewarded. Every great triumph in the history of faith was preceded by waiting. Every breakthrough, every miracle, every blessing was forged in the crucible of patience. Those who act in haste miss the blessing. Those who despair in waiting lose the reward. But those who endure, those who remain steadfast, those who trust in the invisible hand of God, these are the ones who receive the fullness of His promises. Waiting is not passive. Waiting is active faith. Waiting is the soil in which your victory grows. Waiting is the forge in which your character is refined. Waiting is the sanctuary in which your faith matures. Do not compare your waiting to the lives of others. Do not measure your timing by what you see around you. Your journey is unique. God's work in your life is unique. The delay you experience may look long to you, but it is short in the eyes of God, and it is perfectly calibrated for your growth, for your protection, and for your ultimate blessing. Trust the process. Trust the silence. Trust the unseen work of God. Remember, a masterpiece is not rushed. A symphony is not composed in haste. A mighty oak is not grown in a day. God's work is perfect because God Himself is perfect, and His timing is flawless. Even when it feels like nothing is happening, God is working. Even when you see no progress, God is moving. Even when the world tells you to give up, God tells you to hold on. The spiritual principle is simple yet profound. What is invisible to the eye is often the most powerful force at work. God's kingdom moves in ways you cannot see, and His blessings are often wrapped in mystery and silence. So, do not despise the quiet. Do not resent the stillness. Do not curse the delay. Embrace the waiting because it is sacred, it is strategic, and it is sanctifying. There is a profound lesson in understanding that God's work is often invisible because true power is never loud. The wind does not announce its coming, yet it moves mountains and shapes the seas. The sun rises each morning without declaration, yet it brings life to every corner of the earth. so too is God's hand at work in your life. You may feel the silence, but in the silence, God is preparing miracles beyond your imagination. Your waiting is the arena of God's silent power, where your faith is being tested, your patience refined, and your soul strengthened for the journey ahead. Do not be disheartened by the slow unfolding of your life. Do not let discouragement seep into your heart. There is a divine architecture to everything that happens to you. Every delay, every closed door, every unanswered prayer is meticulously placed by God for your ultimate good. God is never careless with His creation, and He is never negligent in His plans. He works with precision, laying each brick of your destiny in perfect order. And sometimes the most vital work occurs unseen, in the quiet, in the waiting, in the patience of your spirit. The moment of a visible blessing is the culmination of unseen labor. Understand this deeply. What God prepares quietly in your life will always surpass what you could have achieved through your own effort or impatience. You must learn to embrace the waiting with joy, not despair. The waiting is not an obstacle, it is the proving ground of your faith. The waiting is not a punishment. It is God's method of cultivating endurance, resilience, and unwavering trust in His wisdom. Those who learn to rejoice in the silence, who continue to serve faithfully while waiting, who continue to honor God even when nothing seems to change, these are the ones who see the greatest breakthroughs, who experience the most profound blessings, who understand the depths of God's love and provision. Consider the seasons of nature. The farmer sows the seed in the soil, yet he does not see the harvest immediately. He waters, he waits, he tends, he protects, but the growth happens quietly, unseen beneath the surface. The rain nourishes, the sun strengthens, the roots take hold, and only in the appointed time does the harvest appear full, abundant, and perfect. So it is with God's work in your life. He is the divine farmer, planting dreams, nurturing your spirit, and preparing the path ahead. You cannot rush the harvest, and you cannot force the timing. To try is to risk spoiling the blessing. The waiting is sacred. The waiting is intentional. The waiting is divine. Your waiting is not a void. It is a sanctuary. It is a space where God teaches you discipline, where He grows your character, where He molds your heart into readiness for the next chapter of your life. Often, the waiting is the hardest part of faith, because your eyes see nothing, but your heart must believe everything. Faith is not believing only what you can see. Faith is trusting in the unseen hand of God. Faith is moving forward with conviction, even when the world sees no progress. Faith is walking in obedience while the answers remain hidden. And those who master the art of waiting in faith discover that God's timing is always perfect and His results are always greater than what they imagine. The enemy will try to convince you that waiting is wasted time, that your efforts are meaningless, that God has forgotten you. These are lies crafted to steal your peace and faith. Do not listen to them. When the enemy whispers impatience, remind yourself God's delay is not denial. God's silence is not absence. God's pause is not punishment. These moments are moments of preparation, moments of unseen blessing, moments of divine work that cannot be rushed. Stand firm, hold fast. Continue to seek God, continue to honor Him, continue to prepare yourself, and you will witness the manifestation of His plans in ways that surpass your imagination. The beauty of God's silent work is that it is perfect in wisdom and timing. while you wait, God may be closing doors that you thought were opportunities. He may be redirecting relationships, aligning circumstances, and preparing encounters that will shape your destiny. The patience you cultivate now, the trust you exercise now, and the obedience you demonstrate now, all of this is a part of God's plan to ensure that when your blessing arrives, it arrives fully without compromise and beyond your wildest dreams. Do not despise the quiet moments. Do not resent the waiting. Do not complain about the stillness. Instead, see them as sacred intervals in which God is at work. The silence of God is not emptiness, it is strategy. The waiting of God is not stagnation, it is preparation. The unseen movement of God is not neglect, it is divine orchestration. When the blessing comes, when the doors open, when the answers arrive, you will realize that every moment of waiting was necessary. Every moment was part of a larger design, part of a divine plan that was beyond human comprehension. Understand this, the greatest breakthroughs are often preceded by the longest periods of waiting. The most significant victories are often birthed in the quietest struggles. The most profound joy is often revealed after seasons of silence and preparation. God is patient with you because He is perfect in His wisdom. He is meticulous with His plans because He is perfect in His knowledge. And He is faithful to fulfill every promise because He is perfect in His nature. Do not rush, do not fret, do not despair. Stand firm in faith. For God is working, even when you cannot see it, even when you cannot feel it, even when the world tells you it is too late. Do you realize that every moment of your waiting is an opportunity for God to reveal His greatness in ways you cannot yet imagine? While you may feel powerless, while you may feel forgotten, God is orchestrating circumstances with a divine precision. He is working in silence to prepare a life for you that is greater than any plan you could ever conceive. When God works quietly, it is because He knows that haste often leads to compromise, that impulsiveness often leads to mistakes, and that impatience often leads to disappointment. God's silence is a shield. His waiting is a fortress. His unseen work is a promise that will not fail. Think about the sculptor working with a block of marble. To the casual observer, the stone appears unmoved, unshaped, lifeless. But the sculptor sees the masterpiece hidden within. Every strike, every chip, every careful adjustment is intentional, precise, and guided by vision. You too are like that block of marble. The waiting you endure, the seasons of stillness, the silence of your prayers, these are the sculptor's strikes. God is shaping your life into something magnificent. What looks like inactivity is, in truth, transformation. What seems like a delay is, in fact, preparation. And when the work is complete, you will emerge as a living testimony of God's power and perfection. Do not grow weary in waiting. Do not lose heart because the answers are delayed. The delay is not denial, it is divine alignment. God is setting the stage, arranging the circumstances, and preparing the people who will bring your breakthrough. Every encounter, every challenge, every closed door is a part of a larger design that you cannot yet see. While you wait, God is building strength in you that you will need for the journey ahead. The patience you cultivate now will become your shield. The trust you maintain now will become your anchor. The faith you exercise now will become the foundation for every blessing that is yet to come. There is power in silent growth. There is strength in unseen preparation. There is victory in patient endurance. God is not absent. He is working. He is not silent. He is speaking through circumstances, through the lessons of life, through the quiet molding of your heart. Even when the world tells you nothing is happening, remember this: God's invisible work is always greater than what human eyes can detect. His unseen labor is always more powerful than what human effort can achieve. His silent orchestration is always wiser than what human planning can produce. Do you know why God works in silence? Because He desires obedience, not haste. He desires faith, not panic. He desires maturity, not impatience. He desires a vessel prepared to receive the fullness of His blessing, not a heart that would squander it in excitement or hurry. The waiting is not a void. It is a crucible. The waiting is not emptiness. It is a classroom. The waiting is not punishment. It is preparation. And the one who endures with faith and patience will see the glory of God revealed in a way that will leave the world in awe. Your waiting is not random. Your delays are not mistakes. Your unanswered prayers are not ignored. Everything in your life is intentional because God is intentional. Even the seasons of frustration, the moments of confusion, and the periods of doubt are instruments in God's hands designed to shape your character, refine your spirit, and heighten your awareness of His presence. Those who learn to see God at work in the invisible, who learn to recognize the silent guidance, who learn to trust the unseen hand, these are the ones who walk in victory even before the breakthrough appears. Do not fear the silence. Do not despise the waiting. Instead, see it as sacred. Every moment of waiting is a divine whisper, a subtle teaching, a quiet lesson from God that calls you to trust, to hope, and to remain faithful. Even when nothing seems to change, even when life feels stagnant, God's work is ongoing. His plans are perfect. His timing is flawless. His ways are higher than yours and mine. And when the moment comes, when the answer arrives, when the doors open, you will understand why you had to wait, why you had to endure, why you had to remain steadfast. Consider the process of refining gold. Raw gold is buried in the earth, dark and hidden, imperfect and unrefined. It is only through fire, pressure, and intense heat that gold is purified and made brilliant. So too are you refined in the fires of waiting. The pressure of unanswered prayers, the heat of uncertainty, the intensity of waiting, all of this is God's method of purifying your faith, sharpening your resolve, and preparing your heart to receive the fullness of His promise. By the time the blessing comes, you will not only receive what you have asked for, you will be ready to handle it with wisdom, strength, and gratitude. Do not underestimate the power of waiting. Do not treat the silence as meaningless. Do not grow impatient with God's process. Waiting is a sacred partnership with the divine. Waiting is an active act of faith. Waiting is a demonstration of trust in God's wisdom and goodness. Those who rush, those who push, those who force things ahead of God's timing often miss the fullness of the blessing. But those who wait with patience, who trust with unwavering faith, who persevere with steadfast hearts, these are the ones who experience miracles, who witness wonders, and who become living testaments to the power of God's perfect timing. Your waiting is your ministry of faith. Your silence is your altar of trust. Your patience is your testimony of God's power. And one day, when the breakthrough arrives, when the doors swing open, when the answers are revealed, your story will inspire others. They will see how God worked in silence, how He moved invisibly, how He prepared a life perfectly aligned with His plan. Your waiting will have been worth everything, because it will have produced a life that glorifies God and testifies to His unfailing faithfulness. Do you understand the magnitude of what God is doing when He works in silence? Most people think progress is measured by movement, by visible results, by immediate outcomes. But God's progress is measured by transformation, by alignment, by preparation. The waiting you endure is not empty, it is fertile ground for your faith to grow. It is in the quiet that God teaches you to rely not on what you see, but on what He has promised. The unseen work of God is more powerful than any visible effort you could make on your own. While you wait, He is rewriting your story, reordering your circumstances, and recalibrating your destiny. Let me speak plainly. Impatience is the enemy of God's perfect work. When you push, when you rush, when you act out of frustration or fear, you risk sabotaging the very blessing that God has been silently preparing. Every delay, every season of silence, every period of stillness is intentional. It is divine strategy designed to strengthen your faith, sharpen your discernment, and purify your heart. God's silence is not neglect, it is nurturing. God's pause is not absence, it is protection. God's delay is not denial, it is preparation. Those who endure the waiting with the trust will one day look back and marvel at how God's quiet hand orchestrated everything in perfect order. Consider the life of a river. A river may flow unseen beneath the earth, hidden in subterranean tunnels, yet it is carving valleys, shaping landscapes, and creating life-giving pathways. One day, the river emerges into the light and its power is fully revealed. So it is with God's work in your life. You may feel buried in delay, hidden in silence, isolated in waiting, but beneath the surface, God is at work. He is creating channels of blessing, carving paths of opportunity, and preparing the conditions for a powerful emergence. When the moment comes, you will realize that the waiting was not wasted. It was the very means by which God ensured your breakthrough would be unstoppable. There is a sacred rhythm in the universe, a divine cadence that operates according to God's perfect wisdom. You may feel the impatience of human timing, the frustration of unfulfilled desires, the anxiety of unanswered prayers. But God's timing is never wrong. His plan is never flawed. His vision is never incomplete. Every moment of silence is a stroke in the masterpiece of your life. Every period of waiting is a brushstroke in the portrait of your destiny. Every delay is a note in the symphony of your divine purpose. And when you finally see the outcome, when the blessing manifests, when the doors open, you will recognize the genius of God's silent work, the wisdom of His perfect timing, and the greatness of His love for you. Do not allow your heart to be hardened by waiting. Do not let frustration dominate your spirit. Do not let fear whisper lies of doubt. Remember, the stillness of God is not absence. It is active preparation. The quiet of God is not inactivity, it is focused orchestration. The waiting of God is not a void, it is fullness in disguise. When you feel as if nothing is happening, know that God is moving. When you feel invisible, know that God is shaping. When you feel delayed, know that God is aligning. And the one who trusts in His unseen hand, the one who remains steadfast in the silence, the one who perseveres in faith, these are the ones who will witness the miraculous, the extraordinary, and the abundant provision of God. Consider the example of a tree in winter. To the untrained eye, it is barren, lifeless, and empty. Yet beneath the surface, roots are strengthening, the sap is moving, and preparation for spring is underway. When the season comes, the tree bursts forth with fruit, with blossoms, with abundance beyond the expectation. So it is with your life. The waiting seasons are the winter. The unseen work of God is the strengthening of your foundation. When the appointed time arrives, your life will bloom with the blessings, opportunities, and answers that have been cultivated in perfect silence. What you see as a pause is really preparation. What you feel as a delay is actually divine timing. What seems like emptiness is overflowing with the potential that only God can release. The enemy wants you to despise the waiting. He wants you to complain, to grumble, to lose faith, to abandon hope. But those who endure, those who persevere, those who remain faithful, these are the ones who experience God's power in its fullness. Waiting is not weakness, it is strength. Waiting is not stagnation, it is growth. Waiting is not futility, it is faith in action. God's silent work is a demonstration of His wisdom, a testament to His power, and a proof of His love. And you, beloved, are called to trust, to wait, and to honor God in the silence. Do not look to the world for timing, for answers, or for confirmation. The world measures success by speed and visibility. God measures success by faithfulness and alignment. The doors that remain closed may be keeping you from what is harmful. The prayers that remain unanswered may be protecting you from what is premature. The moments of stillness may be teaching you lessons you will need when the blessing arrives. When God moves, it is always perfect, always precise, always powerful. And those who have learned to trust the silence will be amazed at how God's unseen work surpasses all human expectation. Do not underestimate the sacredness of waiting. Do not trivialize the silence. Do not despise the preparation. Every moment is an invitation to trust God more deeply, to rely on His wisdom more fully, and to surrender your life more completely into His hands. God's work is often invisible because it is eternal. It is beyond human comprehension, beyond immediate perception, and beyond the constraints of time. What you perceive as delay may be the very mechanism by which God ensures that your life, your destiny, and your blessing are perfectly aligned with His will. Now hear me clearly. Your waiting is a sign of God's intimate involvement in your life. It is proof that He has not abandoned you. It is confirmation that He is working on your behalf. The silence you feel is not emptiness. It is God's workshop. The stillness you endure is not stagnation. It is God's laboratory of transformation. The delay you experience is not denial. It is God's strategy for greatness. Every moment of waiting, every unanswered prayer, every period of apparent inactivity is an opportunity for God to demonstrate His infinite wisdom, His perfect timing, and His unshakable faithfulness. You must understand this. Waiting is not wasted when God is at work. Some of you may be thinking, how long must I wait? And the truth is, you will never see the fullness of God's work until you trust His timing completely. God's timing cannot be measured by your calendar. His work cannot be rushed by your impatience. Every delay, every pause, every season of silence is deliberate. God does not act hastily because He is perfect in His wisdom and His plan is perfect in His execution. Your waiting is a sacred invitation to grow spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, to strengthen your faith, to sharpen your discernment, and to prepare for the life God has ordained for you. Let me be emphatic. Do not waste your waiting with complaints, fear, or doubt. Complaining does not shorten the delay, it amplifies the distraction. Fear does not bring answers, it clouds your vision. Doubt does not accelerate results, it paralyzes your faith. Instead, use this time to draw closer to God. Use this time to study, to pray, to reflect, to strengthen your spirit, and to align your heart with His will. Waiting is an active engagement in faith. It is a silent testimony that you believe God's timing is perfect and His plans are flawless. Those who master the art of waiting in faith will not only receive their blessing, they will become beacons of hope to others, showing the power of trusting God in silence. Consider the lesson of the farmer again. The farmer sows the seed and does not immediately see a harvest. He does not rush the soil. He does not force the crop to grow. He waters, he tends, he protects, and he waits. And when the season comes, the harvest is abundant beyond imagination. This is exactly how God works in your life. The seeds He has planted in your heart, the dreams He has sown in your spirit, the desires He has placed in your soul, they are growing quietly, unseen, yet unstoppable. God's silent work is deliberate. His unseen action is purposeful. And when the appointed time arrives, the manifestation will be undeniable. Do not be discouraged by comparisons. Do not measure your waiting by the pace of others. Your journey is uniquely yours. God is orchestrating your life according to His perfect wisdom. He is aligning your relationships, preparing your opportunities, and opening doors in accordance with His plan. The delay may feel long, but it is precisely calibrated for your growth, for your protection, and for your ultimate blessing. God is teaching you lessons you will need to navigate the fullness of your destiny. Trust Him, obey Him, remain faithful, even when the answers seem delayed. You may feel lonely, isolated, or overlooked. You may feel that the world is moving while you remain in stillness. But know this, God is never absent. Even when you feel alone, even when no one sees your struggle, even when the world questions your purpose, God is at work. He is molding your character, testing your patience, strengthening your resilience, and preparing your heart for greatness. The one who endures the waiting with faith will emerge victorious, transformed, and ready to receive blessings far greater than what could have come in haste. Think of the process of refining precious metals. Gold must be put through fire to remove impurities. Diamonds must withstand immense pressure to reveal their brilliance. So too are you refined in the fires of waiting, in the pressure of silence, in the intensity of God's preparation. By the time your moment comes, you will not only receive what you hoped for, you will be prepared to sustain it, to steward it, and to honor God through it. Waiting is not wasted. Waiting is sanctified by God's purpose. Waiting is not idle. Waiting is filled with the divine potential. Remember, the world cannot comprehend the work of God. Human eyes cannot perceive His movement. Human minds cannot calculate His strategy. God works beyond human limitations, unseen, unheard, yet overwhelmingly powerful. Your waiting is part of a divine design. Your silence is part of a divine symphony. Your delay is a part of a divine masterpiece. And when the breakthrough comes, the joy, the victory, and the blessing will be so profound that you will recognize the necessity of every moment of waiting, the wisdom of every moment of silence, and the greatness of God's perfect plan. So do not despise the waiting. Do not resent the delay. Do not curse the silence. Embrace it. Rejoice in it. Recognize it as a holy invitation to trust God more deeply, to strengthen your faith, and to prepare your heart for the manifestation of His promises. Every delay is a blessing in disguise. Every period of silence is a classroom for your soul. Every moment of waiting is a sacred opportunity to grow into the person God has called you to be. And finally, understand this truth with your whole being. God's timing is flawless, His work is perfect, and His promises are certain. The moments you endure in waiting are not wasted. They are purposeful. The silence you experience is not empty. It is sacred. The delays you encounter are not mistakes. They are strategic. Trust God completely, serve Him faithfully, and remain steadfast in your faith. For when the time comes, you will see that every moment of waiting was necessary, every lesson in silence was essential, and every delay was part of God's divine plan to bring forth blessings that are immeasurable, unstoppable, and eternal. So now, hear me with all your heart. Waiting is not wasted. The silence you endure is not empty. The delays you face are not denials. Every moment, every pause, every season of stillness is God at work, perfecting you, preparing you, positioning you, and orchestrating your life for the glory of His will. Trust in His timing. Stand firm in your faith. Remain steadfast in obedience. Do not grow weary. Do not despair. Do not question the unseen work of God, because one day the waiting will end. One day the doors will open. One day the breakthrough will come. And when it does, you will see with clarity that every moment of waiting, every silent prayer, every unseen labor of God was necessary. You will see that nothing was wasted. You will see that the delay was His protection, the silence was His preparation, and the waiting was His divine strategy. God is working in the shadows, crafting a life for you that exceeds your imagination. And those who trust Him, who wait with patience, and who remain faithful through every season, will witness miracles, receive blessings, and walk in triumph that could only come from the hand of God. So embrace the waiting, honor the silence, and rejoice in the preparation. For God's work is perfect, His timing is flawless, and His promises are unshakable. Your breakthrough is coming. Your blessings are prepared. Your life is being crafted in the hands of the Almighty. Hold on. Trust God. Wait faithfully. And when the time is right, the invisible will become visible, the silence will become song, and the waiting will transform into overwhelming victory. I want you to hear me clearly. Everything in your life is about to change. Not someday, not next year, not when circumstances finally look right, but right now, at this very moment, God is preparing to move in your life in ways that will shock everyone around you. You have been walking quietly, faithfully, often overlooked, dismissed, even doubted. But that silence, that struggle, that patience, it has not gone unnoticed. God has been orchestrating, arranging, positioning, and now the time has come for your breakthrough to be undeniable. The world has not seen it yet, but soon your victory will be visible in front of everyone. Your neighbors, your co-workers, your family, even those who laughed at your dreams, they will see what God has done, and they will have no choice but to acknowledge it. I know some of you are tired. I know some of you have been praying, asking, fasting, and wondering why it feels like nothing is happening. But I want to tell you something profound. God is not late. God is not unaware. God has been working behind the scenes in ways you could never imagine, preparing a glory for you that will leave no room for doubt. When God moves, it is not subtle. When God blesses, it is not hidden. This is not a quiet whisper to your soul. This is a visible, undeniable demonstration of a divine power. And that demonstration is coming for you. You may have been overlooked at work. You may have been passed over for opportunities that you deserved. You may have been in relationships where people failed to see your worth. You may have felt invisible, unheard, unrecognized. But let me remind you, God does not make mistakes. God does not forget His children. What looks like a delay is actually divine preparation. What looks like delay is God perfecting every detail so that when your blessing arrives, it arrives with authority, with impact, and with such unmistakable power that no one can question it. You are about to step into a season where your breakthrough will not be whispered about in corners. It will be proclaimed from the rooftops, and everyone will witness it. I need you to understand something very clearly. The blessings God is about to release over your life are not random. They are not ordinary. They are not just for your comfort or convenience. They are strategically designed to position you, to elevate you, to honor you in front of those who doubted, in front of those who mocked, in front of those who said it could not happen. God's blessing is not just for you. It is a testimony. Every promotion, every favor, every opportunity, every manifestation of God's goodness will be a declaration that God sees you, God hears you, and God moves on behalf of those who remain faithful even when nothing seems to happen. Do not let anyone diminish your hope. Do not let anyone steal your vision. The moment you feel discouraged is the moment you need to speak louder with faith. The moment you feel overlooked is the moment you must remember who is in charge of your life. God is in charge. God is your defender. God is your provider. And when God decides to move, He moves in a way that no human hand can explain. That is exactly where you are right now. You are standing on the edge of a God-ordained miracle that will silence every negative voice in your life. Think about those who have doubted you. Think about the people who laughed at your prayers, who mocked your vision, who called your faith foolish. God is about to make them witnesses of His power. And here is the beauty of it. When God blesses, the blessing is never just for you. It is a proclamation that faithfulness pays, that patience is rewarded, that God's timing is perfect. The glory of your breakthrough will not be hidden. It will be a divine showcase, a revelation that God honors those who endure, those who trust, those who continue to believe, even when the world cannot see it yet. I want you to understand that there is no coincidence in what is about to happen. Every moment of struggle, every tear, every prayer that seemed unanswered, it was all a setup for God to display His power. Every delay, every not yet, every closed door was not rejection, it was refinement. God was shaping you, molding you, strengthening you, and teaching you how to receive a blessing with humility and faith. You are about to be elevated in front of everyone because God's ways are higher than human understanding and God's timing is flawless. Do not allow fear or doubt to hold you back from what God has prepared. Many people settle for quiet blessings, small victories, unnoticed promotions. But God is not giving you a small blessing. God is giving you a moment that will make history in your life. This is your season of visibility. This is your season of public favor. This is the time when everyone will see what God has been doing behind the scenes. Those who dismissed you, those who opposed you, Those who underestimated you, they will witness the undeniable evidence of God's faithfulness. And I want to make this very clear. The blessing God is about to release is not about ego, pride, or personal glory. It is about God being glorified through your life. It is about showing the world that no matter how impossible your situation may have seemed, God is always working, God is always moving, and God is always faithful. Your breakthrough is a testimony that encourages others, inspires faith, and magnifies the power of God. When people see your life transformed, they will understand that there is a God who sees, a God who acts, a God who rewards those who remain steadfast in their faith. You may feel unworthy, you may feel unprepared, you may feel inadequate, but let me tell you the truth. God does not call the qualified, God qualifies the called. And you are called for this moment. You are called to witness a divine display of power, provision, and promotion that will leave everyone stunned. Your blessing will be so clear, so powerful, so undeniable that even those who doubt it will have to acknowledge that God's hand was on you. I want you to see it with your own eyes. The favor that is coming for you will not be hidden in private. It will be visible. It will be undeniable. It will be so prominent that you will not be able to keep it to yourself. God is about to bless you in front of everyone, and when that blessing arrives, it will carry authority, influence, and impact. It will open doors that were once locked. It will create opportunities that were once impossible. It will elevate you to a level where your faith is validated, your perseverance is rewarded, and your life becomes a living testimony of God's unwavering faithfulness. I want you to begin to prepare yourself now. Remove any thoughts of doubt. Remove any voice that says, I am not ready. Remove any fear that says, what if it does not happen? God is preparing you for a public manifestation of a favor that will align with His perfect plan for your life. This is not a small blessing. This is not ordinary. This is a blessing that will shake the foundations of every situation, every circumstance, and every limitation that has tried to hold you back. You have fought battles in silence. You have prayed when no one was watching. You have remained faithful when it seemed like nothing was happening, and God has taken notice. The season of quiet preparation is ending, and the season of visible favor is beginning. Your life is about to become a canvas on which God paints His glory, and the people who doubted you, who opposed you, who ignored you, they will all witness it. Understand this deeply. God does not bless in secrecy forever. God's favor is meant to be seen, to be acknowledged, to make a difference. When God blesses you publicly, it is a declaration that He sees your faithfulness, He honors your patience, and He delights in your perseverance. The blessing will speak louder than words. It will declare to the world that those who trust God, who wait on God, who believe in God, will never be left in obscurity. Your breakthrough is coming, and it is coming with the power, with authority, and in front of everyone. I want you to hear this clearly. God's blessing is not just about material gain, not just about recognition or success. God's blessing is about positioning you where your life becomes a beacon, where your story becomes evidence that the Almighty is real, that His power cannot be contained, and that His faithfulness is unstoppable. This is why your breakthrough is coming in public. God wants the world to see. God wants the doubters to see. God wants the mockers to see. And God wants you to see what happens when faith meets divine timing. Many people miss this truth. The blessing God releases is often a test as well as a reward. The same blessing that elevates you will test your humility, your faith, and your obedience. when God positions you in front of everyone, it is not just a celebration of what you have endured. It is a demonstration that when God lifts someone, He lifts them with integrity, with honor, and with purpose. This is why God allows struggles before breakthroughs. This is why patience is demanded. Because when the blessing arrives, it will be undeniable, unmistakable, and unshakable. Those who see it will not be able to question it. And those who question it will have no excuse. I need you to understand. The same God who promised Abraham the stars in the sky, the same God who opened the Red Sea, the same God who fed the multitudes is at work in your life right now. There is nothing too big, nothing too complicated, and nothing too late for God. If God has spoken favor over your life, nothing and no one can stop it. Your promotion, your breakthrough, your divine elevation is not dependent on luck, timing, or human opinion. It is dependent on the word and will of God. And God never breaks His word. Do not let anyone diminish the magnitude of what is coming. Those who cannot see it, those who cannot understand it, those who cannot believe it, they are not your measure. Your measure is God. Your testimony is God. Your life is God's stage. And on that stage, everything you have believed for, everything you have hoped for, everything you have prayed for will be seen. It will be witnessed. It will be celebrated. God is about to move in such a way that even your enemies will be forced to acknowledge that there is a power far greater than their schemes, far greater than their words, far greater than their opposition. Now, I want you to recognize the season you are in. Every trial, every difficulty, every silent moment of waiting, it has been the preparation for your public blessing. God does not bless without preparation. God does not elevate without refining. The struggles you endured were not in vain. They were the sharpening, the strengthening, the seasoning that makes your blessing so radiant, so undeniable that when it appears, it will leave no room for question. Every tear you cried, every prayer you whispered in solitude, every obstacle you faced, they were all setting the stage for God to display His glory in your life. And let me tell you something powerful. When God blesses you publicly, it is not just a personal victory. It is a message to everyone watching. Those who remain faithful, those who trust God through silence, those who continue to believe in spite of setbacks will be exalted. God's favor is not secret. It is meant to be witnessed. It is meant to encourage, to inspire, and to reveal that nothing in life is wasted when God is in control. Your breakthrough will be more than a blessing. It will be a proclamation. I need you to prepare your heart for visibility, because some of you are about to be elevated where you cannot hide, where your life will be a living testimony. And here is the thing about God's blessings. They often come with influence, with authority, with responsibility. God's favor does not just lift you, it positions you to make a difference. Your life will become a channel through which God's power is seen, a vessel through which His glory is revealed. And when that happens, your story will inspire countless others who are still waiting, still praying, still hoping. Your breakthrough will confirm that God's timing is perfect, that God's plan is flawless, and that God's word never fails. I want you to look at every closed door as a divine setup. Every rejection, every disappointment, every no you received, it was not denial, it was design. God was designing a stage so that when your blessing comes, it comes with a maximum impact, maximum visibility, and maximum glory. Those who opposed you will be silenced. Those who doubted you will be convinced. And those who believed in God, even when no one else did, will rejoice. Your life is about to become a living miracle, a divine exhibition, a testimony that cannot be ignored. You may be thinking, what if I fail? What if I am not ready? I am here to remind you that God does not call the prepared. God prepares the called. You are ready not because of your own strength, but because of God's power working in you. You are ready not because of your own skill, but because of God's favor covering you. You are ready not because of your own effort, but because God has been working behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail, lining up every opportunity, and placing every person in your path to declare His glory. Do not be afraid to step into your blessing when it comes. Some of you have been hesitant, cautious, waiting for perfection, waiting for circumstances to be just right. I want to tell you now, the blessing will not wait for your courage. It will wait for God's timing. And when it arrives, it will demand faith. It will demand action. It will demand that you walk boldly in the authority and favor God has given you. The blessing is not just a gift, it is a call to step into the fullness of God's plan for your life. And here is the most important truth. God's blessing in front of everyone is meant to glorify Him, not you. It is meant to show the world that the Almighty is at work, that His power is undeniable, that His faithfulness is unshakable. When people see your life transformed, when people see doors open that no human hand could open, when people see opportunities manifest that no strategy could create, they will know it was God. And that, my friends, is the ultimate victory, not just the blessing itself, but the revelation that God's power is real and active. I want you to understand this deeply. When God moves in your life publicly, it is not just about the moment of recognition, it is about the revelation of His power. It is about the declaration that no scheme of a man, no opposition of a circumstance, no force of nature can counteract what God has ordained. You have lived in seasons of silence, of invisibility, of seeming insignificance, but God's silence is never inaction. Every moment you felt overlooked, every hour you spent waiting, every trial that tested your resolve, it was all a divine preparation for your moment of public blessing. And that moment is not just coming, it is imminent. Some of you are still struggling to see it. Some of you are still wondering, why has nothing happened yet? I need you to hear me now. God's timing is flawless. What you perceive as delay is not denial. What you perceive as waiting is not weakness. It is divine orchestration. God is not rushing. God is not careless. God is meticulous. Every person, every circumstance, every opportunity, every closed door, every seeming setback has been arranged to ensure that when your blessing appears, it appears with impact so powerful that everyone will know it is God and God alone who has done it. The blessing you are about to receive is not ordinary. It is not small. It is not for private enjoyment. It is designed to position you, to elevate you, to honor you in front of the world. And here is the truth. God blesses publicly for a reason. He wants the world to see. He wants the doubters to see. He wants the naysayers to see. He wants the ones who laughed at your faith, mocked your vision, or dismissed your dreams to witness what happens when God intervenes. When God blesses, it is undeniable. When God moves, it is unmistakable. And when God elevates, it is irreversible. I needed to realize that visibility is a part of a divine strategy. God does not just bless quietly. God's favor is meant to be seen, to be acknowledged, to make a difference. Your breakthrough is not simply for your comfort or your gain. It is a testimony. It is a message to those who remain faithful, who continue to trust, who continue to pray in spite of delay, who continue to believe in spite of opposition. Your life, your story, your testimony is about to declare that God sees, God hears, and God moves on behalf of those who remain steadfast in faith. Do not allow fear to rob you of your moment. Many people shrink when God is about to elevate them. Many people hide when God is about to make them visible. But you must not shrink. You must not hide. You must stand firm in faith. You must step forward boldly into what God has prepared for you. The blessing that is coming is meant to be prominent. It is meant to be undeniable. It is meant to be a divine display that leaves no room for doubt, no room for argument, and no room for question. I want you to consider this. God's blessings are often accompanied by opposition. When God is about to elevate you, when God is about to make you visible, when God is about to bless you in front of everyone, it is natural that the forces that have been holding you back will intensify. But do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. Every attack, every challenge, every obstacle is a setup for God to demonstrate His power. Your victory is not in your strength, it is in God's authority. Your breakthrough is not in your effort, it is in God's will. And when God shows up, nothing, no one, and no circumstance can stop it. Let me remind you, God is the ultimate orchestrator of all things. The doors that have remained closed, the opportunities that seemed impossible, the dreams that felt out of reach, God is arranging them all for your moment of visibility. This is why you must continue to believe, continue to pray, continue to trust. Do not allow the world's timing to influence your faith. Do not allow human limitation to define your expectation. God's timing is perfect. God's plan is flawless. And God's favor is unstoppable. Your breakthrough will not only be seen, it will be remembered. The people who doubted you, the people who opposed you, the people who underestimated you, they will remember the moment that God made you rise. They will remember the moment your life shifted in a way that no one could have engineered. And they will know beyond question that it was God. This is the power of divine blessing. It leaves a legacy, it inspires faith, and it glorifies God through the life of the one He chooses to elevate. I need you to understand this with your whole being. The blessing God is about to release over you is not limited to a single area of life. It will touch your relationship, your finances, your opportunities, your influence, your reputation, and your ability to make an impact. God's favor is comprehensive. God's blessing is complete. And God's glory is revealed in the totality of His provision. When He moves with the precision, with the wisdom, and with the power that is unmatched by anything the world can produce. And here is the key. God's blessing in public requires faith in private. You have been faithful when no one was watching. You have prayed when no one could see. You have persevered when it seemed like no one believed in you. That faithfulness, that persistence, that unwavering trust in God is the foundation upon which your public blessing will be built. God honors what is hidden. God magnifies what is faithful. God reveals what is steadfast. And now, your time to shine in front of everyone has arrived. Prepare yourself to receive with gratitude, humility, and boldness. God's blessing is not passive, it requires response. It requires walking into it with faith, with confidence, and with readiness. Do not hesitate. Do not doubt. Do not allow fear or insecurity to hold you back. God's favor is your authority. God's blessing is your elevation. And God's power is your protection. When you step into the fullness of what God has prepared, you will experience a level of victory that is unmistakable, undeniable, and unforgettable. Every eye that has doubted will see. Every voice that has mocked will fall silent. Every hand that has tried to block you will be powerless. And in that moment, the glory of God will shine through your life so brightly that it cannot be ignored. Your story, your testimony, your breakthrough will be a living example of God's faithfulness, God's power, and God's love for those who remain steadfast. I want you to embrace this truth. God does not delay without purpose. Every pause, every challenge, every waiting period has been for a reason. God is preparing the stage, aligning the circumstances, positioning the people, and perfecting the timing so that your blessing arrives with maximum impact. The world may not understand it. Your enemies may not recognize it, and some may even oppose it, but God's plan cannot be thwarted. When God blesses, it is final. When God elevates, it is irreversible. And when God shows up, everyone sees. The moment is coming when your life will be transformed publicly. The moment is coming when your faithfulness will be rewarded openly. The moment is coming when your patience will be justified, your endurance celebrated, and your obedience honored. And that moment will not be a whisper, it will be a declaration. It will not be hidden, it will be visible, it will not be small, it will be magnificent. God's blessing in front of everyone is a testimony, a proclamation, and a divine demonstration of His power and faithfulness. I want you to hear this. The blessing God is about to release is not just a gift, it is a declaration. It is a declaration that God honors the faithful, that God sees the hidden efforts, that God recognizes perseverance. You have been praying in silence, working in obscurity, and remaining steadfast when the world could not see. All of that is about to be revealed in a way that is undeniable, unavoidable, and unforgettable. God does not bless quietly when He's about to make a statement. He moves in ways that captivate, in ways that confirm His power, in ways that leave no room for doubt. And that statement, my friend, is about to be made through your life. Consider the weight of this moment. Everything you have endured, every tear you have shed, every setback you have faced, they were all necessary for this exact point in time. God does not waste your struggle. God does not overlook your patience. God does not ignore your faith. Every delay has been deliberate. Every trial intentional. Every challenge a setup for the glory that is about to manifest. What you have thought of as waiting is actually preparation. What you have thought of as a silence is actually strategy. And what you have thought of as insignificance is actually positioning for divine favor that the world will see. Some of you have been waiting for years. Some of you have been faithful in places where no one recognized your efforts. Some of you have prayed, fasted, and believed, and yet the world seemed silent. But I want you to understand this truth. God's silence is never absence. God's delay is never denial. God's seeming inaction is never inaction at all. God is moving. God is orchestrating. God is arranging. And when the time comes, the blessing that arrives will be so visible, so undeniable, and so powerful that everyone will know it could only be the hand of God. I need you to grasp the magnitude of what is coming. This is not a small elevation. This is not a minor improvement. This is a divine demonstration, a manifestation of God's power, wisdom, and favor over your life. The people who doubted you, who questioned you, who mocked your faith, they will witness it. And the beauty of it is, You will not need to defend yourself, explain your journey, or justify your struggle. God's blessing will speak for you. God's favor will declare your story. And God's glory will be revealed through your success. Now, some of you are afraid of visibility. You worry about attention. You fear judgment. But let me tell you, when God elevates, the blessing demands recognition. When God opens doors, the opportunity requires action. When God reveals favor, it requires faith to walk boldly into it. You cannot hide when God is about to display His glory. You cannot retreat when God is positioning you in front of everyone. This is your moment to rise, your moment to shine, your moment to allow God to show the world that He is faithful, powerful, and righteous. And understand this, the blessing God is about to release will not only affect your life, it will influence the lives of others. Your public elevation will become a testimony, a source of encouragement, a proof to those who are still waiting, still praying, still hoping. Your life will speak louder than words, louder than arguments, louder than doubts. God's power will be evident through you. And when people see your breakthrough, they will recognize that faithfulness pays, that patience is rewarded, and that God honors those who trust in Him fully. I want you to see this clearly. The favor God is about to release is strategic. It will arrive in ways that leave no question about who is responsible. It will position you in the right place at the right time with the right people. It will open doors that were previously closed, create opportunities that seemed impossible, and elevate you to a level where your influence and authority cannot be denied. The world will witness what God can do, and they will have no choice but to acknowledge His power. Your breakthrough is not just for you. It is a divine statement, a living testimony, and a revelation of God's glory. Some of you have been tempted to doubt. Some of you have been tempted to give up. Some of you have been tempted to believe that your time has passed. I want to remind you, God does not measure His blessings by human schedules, human understanding, or human logic. God measures by purpose, by faithfulness, and by His perfect plan. What looks late to you is on time to God. What looks delayed to you is on schedule with God. And what looks impossible to you is nothing to God. When God decides to move, no power on earth can stop it. The people who have opposed you, the people who have rejected you, the people who have doubted your potential, they will all see it. And they will be forced to acknowledge that it was not your doing. It was not skill, strategy, or human effort. It was God. God who sees, God who provides, God who elevates, God who orchestrates. Your breakthrough will be unmistakable, undeniable, and unforgettable, and the glory will belong entirely to Him. I need you to embrace bold faith now. Stop shrinking back. Stop doubting. Stop waiting for permission from the world to step forward. God's favor does not wait for human approval. God's blessing does not wait for the doubters to be convinced. God's power does not depend on circumstances. God's timing is perfect, and your elevation is imminent. Step forward with confidence. Receive with gratitude. Walk boldly into what God has prepared. This is your moment. This is your season. This is your public blessing. Do not underestimate the significance of what is coming. God's favor will not only elevate you, it will redefine you, it will reposition you, it will empower you, it will protect you. It will create influence where there was none. It will open opportunities that were locked. It will place you in the center of God's divine plan in a way that cannot be ignored. The people who witnessed your struggles will witness your triumph. The world will see what faith in God produces. And you will stand as a living testimony that perseverance, prayer, and patience are never wasted in the hands of the Almighty. Every step you have taken, every prayer you have prayed, every struggle you have endured, God has taken note. God has recorded it all. God has multiplied it all. And God is about to release it all publicly. Your life is about to become a showcase of His power. Your story is about to become a declaration of His faithfulness. Your breakthrough is about to become a revelation of His glory. And there will be no way for anyone to deny it. So now, I want you to rise in your spirit and declare this truth over your life. God is faithful. God is just. God is powerful. The season of waiting, the season of struggle, the season of silence is over. Your breakthrough is not coming in secret, it is coming publicly. God is about to bless you in front of everyone. And when He does, the glory, the honor, and the power will belong entirely to Him. Every doubter, every critic, every opponent will witness the undeniable evidence of God's hand at work in your life. Do not shrink back. Do not hide in fear or humility. Step boldly into the blessing that God has prepared for you. Walk in confidence, for God goes before you. Move with authority, for God has equipped you. Speak with faith, for God's word never fails. Your life is about to become a living testimony that confirms what God can do for those who trust Him, who remain faithful, and who continue to believe even when no one else does. Remember this, God's favor is not just for comfort, it is for testimony. God's blessing is not just for you, it is for the world to see. God's power is not quiet, it is undeniable, unshakable, and unstoppable. And when your breakthrough manifests, it will declare to everyone that God is real, God is righteous, God is faithful, and God sees every effort, every prayer, every tear, and every act of obedience. So lift your eyes, lift your heart, and lift your faith. Expect the impossible, believe the unbelievable, stand in readiness for what God has already prepared. The world may have overlooked you. The enemies may have opposed you. The circumstances may have seemed impossible, but none of that matters because God is moving and God's blessing is about to make you visible, powerful, and victorious in front of everyone. Prepare yourself, believe unwaveringly, and receive with boldness, for the Almighty is about to act. And when He does, the world will see your faith will be honored, and God's glory will shine through your life like never before. Your public blessing is here. Your testimony is coming. And your life is about to declare that God is faithful, God is powerful, and God is victorious.